All right, we are back, and in a move that could shake up the college football world, Big 12 powerhouses Texas and Oklahoma have reportedly reached out to join the SEC. Texas A&M coach Jimbo Fisher was on the Paul Finebaum show yesterday, gave a warning to their former Big 12 foes.
We're very happy where we're at. I know that. So while we're developing the culture and getting this program going to where we think it could go, and being the SEC is, in my opinion, a big advantage to do that. I'll say this though: be careful what you ask for when you jump on this leg.
There's a reason why we left the Big 12 back in 2011 and started in July 1st of 2012 is that we wanted a standalone identity in the state of Texas, and SEC's been a perfect fit for us. Perhaps there's a reason why Texas and Oklahoma are looking around. Of course they do. They want to be in the SEC. It's the best conference.
Okay, so a lot to unpack here. Paul is with us. Sacho is a Texas alum. Booger is an LSU alum. And Heather Dinich is our insider extraordinaire. So, Heather, I will start with you. I heard a lot of people freaking out about this yesterday. What do the fans need to know?
Well, the most important thing is that I've spoken with sources across the country in Power 5 leagues, and nobody knows for sure if this is actually going to happen. Remember, it's the university presidents in the SEC. 11 of the 14 would have to agree to extend the invitation. Now, I've also talked with other decision makers in the country, and they have told me that while they are not sure if it'll happen, they have to prepare for the possibility that it will. Because if it does, they've seen it before in realignment, and it turns into the survival of the fittest. Remember the Big East? Exactly. Doesn't exist anymore. So if this were to happen and Oklahoma and Texas were to join the SEC, then it would probably lead to the dissemination of the Big 12. It would be a mad scramble for everybody else to get the rest of those teams. But Greeny, I would tell you that it would not surprise me if Oklahoma and Texas also reach out to the Pac-12 to explore those opportunities as well. So I think this is the start of a long conversation, and it could certainly be the first domino in a major shift in college football if it does happen.
Of course, because nothing reminds one more of the Pacific Ocean than Norman, Oklahoma. But anyway, Paul Finebaum, let me come to you on this thought here. She's saying that the university presidents in the SEC would have to want this. I mean, Texas and Oklahoma, I have to assume any conference would want them, right?
Yes. And while this thing still could be in play for everyone else, Greeny, it is my opinion that these two are moving toward the SEC. From what I've been told, Texas and Oklahoma reached out to the Southeastern Conference. They went through back channels through a law firm. And I think this thing is pretty far down the road. Why did it come out yesterday really doesn't matter. I think there was some selective leaking going on by one or two schools, maybe to try to derail it. But once Texas and Oklahoma made the decision they wanted to leave the Big 12 really was done. And it's just a matter of how quickly this thing moves down the track. I think it's moving very quickly. At this point in time, I think Texas and Oklahoma will come to the SEC, and everyone else is going to have to scramble, because if the SEC gets those two, then everybody else has to start reaching out and grabbing whatever they can.
Paul, to be clear, for people who don't live in this every single day, moving toward what? If the Texas and Oklahoma go to the SEC, and to Heather's point, the Big 12 maybe even just sort of ceases to exist, are we then going to be living in a world where we have 4 super conferences? Is that what we're headed towards as soon as 3 or 4 years from now?
Absolutely, yes, because once the SEC, which is already the strongest league, goes to 16, and they just added 2 of the most valuable brands in college football. You can slice and dice it any way you want, but they're both in the top 10. And on top of Alabama and Georgia and Florida and LSU, you can't just sit there over in the ACC or in the Big Ten. The Pac-12 is not really even a relevant part of this conversation any longer, and say we're not going to grab somebody else. I think people will revisit Notre Dame. I know what Notre Dame has said, but I think they're in play as well.
Heather, go ahead.
Well, I'm not sure that the Pac-12 is completely irrelevant in this conversation just yet, so I'm going to hold off on making a definitive statement there. But I spoke with a source in the SEC this morning who said it might not even be 4 conferences. It could be 3. And to Paul's point, I will say this person suggested the Pac-12 could be so watered down that it does disseminate. But I would say that there's the possibility that was at least raised that it's 3 power conferences. And this person suggested the ACC would be all right, especially if they can hold on to Notre Dame. That's an interesting point. If Notre Dame joins a conference, contractually it has to be the ACC.
Wow. Okay, so all of this, as you see, the potential for seismic change in college football and college sports as we know them. Now let me get the players in here. Sam Acho, you played at Texas. The possibility of your alma mater moving to the SEC, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I don't get excited about it, but I also don't get excited, but I also got a little bit confused. Why would Texas want to go to the SEC? It didn't make sense. Then 2 things came to mind. I had a friend of mine who always says, follow the money. There are TV deals that are coming up. And so when a TV deal comes up and the Big 12 is not getting a lot of money opportunity when it comes to a TV deal, Texas could say, let's go to the SEC, number 1. Number 2, recruiting. So look at a school like A&M. If I'm from Texas, which I am, I'm a guy who was born and raised in Texas, looking at the best program I want to go to. I'm deciding between Texas and A&M. If I'm choosing and I get a chance to go play in the SEC with the best, against the best, for lack of better terms, you're pretty much playing in the NFL. That's me in the national championship game against Alabama in the SEC when Alabama started their run. So recruiting, it helps recruiting as well. But I'm just sitting here saying, okay, why would Texas want to leave? And the only reason that comes to my mind is money.
Money is pretty much the only reason any of these things happen. Booger, let me come to you again. And for those who don't remember, Booger was not only played in the SEC, but a huge part of the SEC network for many, many years. So you know the ins and outs of this as well as anybody. What do you think of it?
Well, Greeny, I just smiled and laughed because almighty Texas is reaching out to the SEC saying, we need you, we want you. And there's something about that that just makes me warm and fuzzy inside. To all the UT alums out there who always talks, everything is bigger in Texas. Well, guess what? You need the Southeastern Conference. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. I think everyone, as far as Heather and Paul and Sam, have made some great points. But let's take it out macro. I think eventually the NCAA is going to be no more.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.